If making this one simple mistake on your sales calls has only cost you thousands so far, well, be grateful because for others, it's cost them millions in potentially closed deals. What's going on, my friend? This is Coach Grant Eilertson here, and today we're going to break down this one mistake that costs a crap load in terms of missed sales. Now, real quick before we dive in, do me a favor and just smash that like button, turn that little thumbs up blue. It really helps us out in the YouTube algorithm and helps me continue creating awesome content like this for you so you can change more lives and keep closing more sales. All right, let's go ahead and dive in. So just what is this crippling sales mistake that so many sales reps and entrepreneurs continue to make on a day-to-day basis? Well, let's see if you can figure it out. I'm going to give you a quick example of what I hear really often. People will get to the time in their sales calls where it's time to actually discuss deliverables, right? And they'll go, okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to put together a custom workout plan for you, custom nutrition, and we'll hold you accountable every step of the way, and the investment is just $1,500. What did I do wrong there? Well, I'll tell you what, even though it might not seem big, it is absolutely huge. If you are discussing your deliverables and the investment in the same breath, I guarantee it's costing you a ton of money. And here's why. When the topic of finances comes up and we're discussing investment, well, this is a complication to the thought process that's required to make commitments to what you're selling. Obviously, in this example, we're talking about fitness coaching because I run High Impact Coach, which is the #1 platform for helping online personal trainers grow and scale their business. Now, that said, this would apply to any type of coaching offer, whether it's business, finance, fitness, it doesn't matter. So even if you don't sell fitness, do not click off this video because if you continue making this mistake, it will continue costing you money. So here's the thing. You need to understand how to effectively separate what I call the presentation and the pitch. Now, if you haven't already, go check out this video here, and this is on crafting your perfect pitch. It's also linked up in the cards up there. Now, that said, again, if you are discussing your deliverables and investment in the same breath, it's costing you because you're overcomplicating the process for someone in their mind, and a confused prospect doesn't buy. So here's what you need to do instead. You need to go through your presentation in terms of course, like you'll understand from that video, hey, so I know you said pain, and because that's an issue for you, what we're going to need to implement is solution. And for you, that means benefit. Does that make sense? Do you agree? So we're going through reassociating, of course, with the pain, the solution, and then what it means for them in terms of benefits, and then tying down. A tie down is a sales term that basically just means we're getting pre-commitment before we go in for the big one. Now, that said, most people, again, discuss their deliverables and then their investment. But instead, what we need to do is go through this process either once or up to 3 times if you have more deliverables that you need to encompass in that presentation. Again, it's because you said pain, what we'll do is solution, and for you that means benefit, tie down. Does that make sense? Do you agree? Can you see how this might possibly help you? Or how can you see this possibly helping you? Once you have concluded with that, you're going to ask, okay, so any questions for me about the process specifically? If you get anything other than finances, you will handle it the same way. If it's financial, like, what does it cost? Then of course your response is, well, great question, and we'll get to that in a moment if it's appropriate, but more important to me is making sure that the program itself is the right fit for you. So, if they answer anything other than finances when you ask, any other questions, or does it sound like the perfect fit for you? They're questions, so let's just say I get on a fitness offer, like, okay, so I get the training, but like as far as nutrition, how does that work? We're going to use the same framework. Great question. Well, because you said that that's been an issue for you in the past, what we're going to do is solution, and for you that means benefit. Make sense? Okay. Any other questions, or does the process sound like a perfect fit for you? If the prospect says, nope, that actually sounds perfect to me, now you're going to ask why. Why is a powerful word on sales calls, because when you ask why, what your prospect is naturally going to do is dig their heels in to argue for their position. Now, if you're asking why in the wrong context, it's going to cost you sales. However, in this context, you are providing the space for your prospect to then resell themselves. They say, no, it sounds like a perfect fit. So I would say, okay. Well, why do you think it is? And let them then tell you all of the reasons why they are excited about the process specifically. You're getting buy-in and commitment to actually following through with the process. Only once you have gotten buy-in and commitment to the process are we then going to transition to the investment. This is key.
So let me give you a major key.
We need separation there. This is where most rookie salesmen miss out on tons of potentially closable opportunities. So when we then move to discussing investment, the framework is simple. There's just some slight tweaks. What we're going to actually associate them with now is the big picture: pain, promised land, and purpose. So, okay. Now, based on what you told me, we're going to be able to eliminate this pain so that you can experience pleasure and ultimately fulfill purpose. And for you, that's just price. When we do this, we're able to reassociate our prospects with the big picture, making this genuinely feel like a life-defining transformational moment. And then the price, by comparison, is very small. Again, this is a small mistake that costs a ton of money, because if, again, you are discussing your deliverables and investment within the same breath, well, you're complicating the situation before they've even bought into the process. And I guarantee you're missing potentially closable deals. So again, we're going to go through, because you said problem, well, what we'll do is solution. For you, that means benefit. Any questions for me about the process specifically, or does this sound like the right fit for you? Okay. Well, why do you feel it would be then? Got you. Okay, so where do you want to go from here? Well, I guess, how much does it cost? Great question. Ultimately, the investment to eliminate pain, accomplish vision, and achieve purpose is just price. And we can take care of that with a debit card, credit card, or PayPal, which works best for you. By doing this, I guarantee you will see your close rate dramatically improve if you're doing everything else right on your sales calls. So here's my invitation to you to go back down, smash that thumbs up button so that you get notified when I post new videos, and go through the 7-figure sales training playlist to uncover the rest of the sales secrets responsible for tens of millions in coaching sales for myself and my clients. Thanks for tuning in to today's video. I'll see you in the next one.